good morning, Baltimore. Good morning, Maryland. Good morning, America. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Chief O. Chief O of Let's Talk About It is saluting you, saying good morning, good morning. God bless you. Thank God for another day. Remember when you woke up this morning? He really blessed us, gave us another day. We have to thank Him. Thank you, Lord, for another day. Oh my God, thank you, Lord, for another day. So here we are. Let's talk about it. Lots of news again. Lots and lots and lots of them. So we welcome you. If you have anything that you would like to add to the show, please type it in. Give us a call so we'll know what is in your mind as we talk about it. Because that's why we call the show Let's Talk About It. Comments, let's talk about it. Like it, share it, and comment. Say something. If you see something, say something. It's 8 o'clock in the morning now, call us. Do whatever you can to get in touch. Okay? Call us at 667-298-3433. We're still paying for that bill, so call. Wow, good morning. How's the kids? Give your kids a hug. Give your grandkids a hug. Give your wife a hug. Give your husband a hug. All right, give your boyfriend a hug. Just give everybody that is around you and the entire family. I'm a strong family person. Give a hug. You know, don't wake up in a bad mood. It makes the rest of the day go bad. Say something. Smile. Be bright. You only got one life to live. You don't come again. You say it, so make it work. Take a big deep breath of this fresh air. I don't know how much your air is fresh in where you are, but it's okay here. Ah, so good morning, Baltimore. Let's talk about it. That's what this show is called. To my producer and family, good morning, sir. Thank you so much for everything. To all my veteran family, thank you so much for everything. For everybody that I know and the ones that I don't know, thank you so much. God bless you. God be with you completely. Stay safe as you can. All right, here we go. We're going to talk about Baltimore. Let's talk about it. What's all this media attack on Brandon Scott? Next question, please. Next. Seems like the young brother's getting a little frustrated on the job. Sometimes you get the impression that the white-controlled media, white people controlling the media in Baltimore City, are really just attacking him and going after him. And wow, that would no fanfare of his at all. There's a couple of, uh, you know, I'm going to say it again. Whatever I say in this show is mine. If I quote somebody, we'll show it to you. We'll, tell you where we got the information from, all our sources. But otherwise, this is mine. Let's talk about it. I'm the one putting this out. So whatever I say, don't get angry. It's just what we see, what I see, and what I talk about. And if you want to get involved and let's talk about it, let's debate it all. Bring it on. Bring it on. I said it before. The white media is attacking Mayor Brandon Scott. Seemed like they sent out a couple of blonde hair white ladies and stick the mic right in his mouth. Say something and attack him. What about this? Where you get this? How do you do that? What? Why? Why? We got a lot of whys ourselves that we ask, but we don't get that many answers from them because I understand there's some people in the media in Baltimore City and Baltimore State and the governor. I understand. I've been told that they watch. But they don't say anything. We understand. Don't say nothing. But it seems like there's a sort of a planned, okay, girl, go out there and get him today. Stick that mic up his nose and ask him a question. Doesn't matter what. All right, the girl gets all powdery. She can take care of herself, fix up her little blonde hair. She, because it's there. Then them white ladies who got a lot of attitude, so to speak. Not that they're really looking for anything. There's a lot of attitude. It seems like the, all the media and the white controlled media, because they don't control us, but the white controlled media, that they have a concerted plan and an attack mode. They seem to be in a state of attack mode against Brandon Scott. I am, I'm the one kind of a person that like to give his brother a chance. After all, y'all elected him. Since he's in office, might as well let him do his job. But it appears that there's a deliberate attempt to go after him on anything. Everything that is happening. How come that person got killed? Why didn't you do something before they killed? They seem to be this. And we got a video to show you. We got a video to show you when we get to the homicide section and all the killing that is going on in Baltimore. But there's some more other information that we have learned recently, and that is that look at this lady, God bless her soul, who was murdered in Baltimore church. Um, there's another young man that was murdered in church, and it seems like the state pays money for murder. But before I get into that, let me do some other stuff. Right now, the media is attacking. Yeah, they're really attacking Brandon Scott, mercilessly going after him. So we're watching what is going on. God bless Evelyn Players. Evelyn Players. Attacked and murdered in the church. Now, I wish my producer would bring that article up if you can about the pastors and what's going on with the pastors. Why are they running? We need to find out what's going on with the pastors and why in the world are they quitting the job? That's it. They're quitting. Leave it in. And then you got not only the pastors quitting, but people that are still parishioners that are still very much God believing, going to church, working in the church, just being a church person. We know how that is. We know who they are. God bless all of them. Those who've never gave up on God, despite the COVID, despite all of that, all the fear mongering that has been pushed out there for us, for everybody. Despite all that, there are people still going to church. So even in church, the church, it's not safe, even in the church. Why is it that our church people don't come out and demonstrate for God, for the return of the church? Not like it ain't like it was. You know, you walk inside the church, you ought to believe that God is protecting us inside the church. And instead, we listen to man who says, cover your face, cover your nose, cover your ears, cover your eyes, shut up, don't say nothing. Just come into church, be quiet, and let the pastor with the mask on take his mask off. Where's the trust in the church? It seems to have disappeared. But the church pastors, where are they? A lot of pastors are quitting the church. Could you believe that? They are leaving, bro, preaching, speaking, talking to us. They're leaving the church. You remember why pastors are joining the great resignation? Why are they joining the great resignation? What in the world is happening that they have to just resign from the church? Have you guys thought about that? You who are listening, have you thought about why are they resigning? Pastors. Guess maybe the church plate is a little lower and emptier because God's still there. So, like in many foreign countries, I know some churches that are buying private planes. Not one, not two, not three. One church pastor in a foreign nation got pissed off that he didn't get enough money in the plate to buy the four planes, a fleet of planes for himself. That's how much money the people give to him. But over here, seems like folks ain't putting no money in the plate. Folks ain't coming to church. And so the pastor resigned. I'm not going to beat him up, but I would like to talk to some of them. My producer said, he's sure about that? Maybe God wasn't in the church? Is that why they're resigning? So you come to church and ask, dear Lord, is anybody here? Maybe God left the church. It was a story that, and I personally was there to see it. The former governor of New Jersey, Jim McGreevey, told us every time we go to church, because we were campaigning for governor, and I was in the immediate staff. So every time we go to church, he tells a story about how this man was in a car with some other people and suddenly got into an accident, and the car flipped and flipped and flipped and flipped and went down a cliff. But he was able to get out of the cliff, out of the car, and was on the side of a mountain holding on to a branch and a leaf, like just a branch, a little tree that was stuck in the mountain. And so he stuck there, and the car went all the way down and crashed and burned. So he's hanging there, and suddenly he realized that there's a big old hill straight up, and down there's nothing but the rest of the mountain, and he's right in the middle of it. So now, how in the world is he gonna get up? Because if he goes down, he's just gonna go where the car was. Car burnt up right down the mountain. So he held on to that little branch, and every now and then he heard the branch say, because his weight, he's holding on to the branch with one arm, one hand, one arm, and his weight was pulling the branch off the mountain. So the man started praying. Oh Lord, dear Lord, he says, I've been a good man. I've taken care of my family. I go to church regularly. I see you in church. We have a conversation. I've been a good man. So could you please find a way to get me out of this dilemma? Here I am. If I go down, I'm gone. And there didn't seem to be nobody up there. So he screamed, "Hello! Hello! Is there anybody up there?" Got no answer. You know he ain't getting no answer but asking anybody down there. Then the branch went there again. "Dear Lord." And suddenly he heard a voice. And the voice said to him, "Jim, this is the Lord." "Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you. Could you please get me out of here?" And the branch did that same noise. And suddenly the voice up that he heard from up there said, "Hey, Jim, let go of the branch." Now, poor Jim said, "Huh? Let do what? Let go of the branch." He said, "No, no, Lord, that's not the answer I'm looking for." Let go of the branch. Jim thought about it again. "No, no, 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 no. Lord, send me a rope. Do anything. Just get me out of there." Let go of the branch. Huh, Lord, this ain't working out. Is there anybody else up there? So I guess there's no, God is not in the church. And certainly the God that Jim was hoping would give him some kind of room to save him. I said, told him, "Let it go. Go on down." And then the pastor turns around and they all resign. Something we need to think about. Something we need to talk about. Let's move on. We talk about, oh, sorry about the Raven losing to the Steelers. Oh, my. Oh, Now, things about you Raven fans. You love your Ravens. And young brother Jackson really showed how frustrated he was when the coach called for that go for two extra points. Jackson knew very well, go for the one, but no, the coach wouldn't listen. He went for two, he lost out, bingo, and the Raven lost to the Steelers. Oh my God! The next day, all over I mean, really, purple just went blue. All purple. Everybody was blue. No more shirts. Just a couple of really hardcore supporters and fans. Yeah, man. Yeah, and they get all angry. I mean, they are really angry. "Hey, bro, did you win?" "No." I mean, they're really pissed off the way they respond. And oh, the Steel fans are just needling them on, just pushing them. So sorry about the loss. Uh, what else? We don't go through the Ravens. Now, folks, it's getting cold outside, so please, be cognizant, be smart. Yeah, that's right, be smart. Use the old knucklehead, and please stay warm. Send those children with some warm clothes. Give them some warm food. Make sure you get some of that warm food, and give it to them before they go to school. My goodness. Protect the family. Protect the family. My producer is a very strong family man. Very strong. I mean, like a, um, a lion protecting his nest. Very strong. Don't play no games with that. And so is this man. Me, Chief O. Chief O. Very powerful when it comes to protecting the family. So protect the family. Protect your family. Send your children to school, yes, with warm clothes and warm food in their body. Give that, give them the strength to be able to make it through the day until they come back and see you again. Okay, don't just send them out there with thin summer clothes. The summer is gone. So don't send them out there with summer clothes and cold cornflakes. Yeah. Give them some fuel. Give them some meal. Best that you got, give it to them before you send them out there in the world, where he had to face other little kids who got all snotty nose and sneezing all over the place. I call a lot of kids in the school Germans because they all seem to be carrying all kinds of germs. You don't know where they're coming from. And with the fact that immigration is just have opened up the door, and this is sanctuary city supposed to be. You're not in sanctuary city. There's all kinds of diseases and germs all over, And when I see some of these kids, when I go past some schools, and look, they're all playing outside, laying on that cold ground. Doggone it, some of them are just in the little thin clothes. Come on, parents, don't do that. Send those children out in warm clothes with good food in their belly. Just, just do your part. Protect the family. That's what I'm saying. I'm a veteran. I'm a military person. I'm ordering you to protect the family, like it or not. But you better not disobey. I said it, disobey. Protect the family. That's important. Protect that child before you send him out of school. Do your part. Okay. I believe you will. I'm not getting mad. I'm just broadcasting. I'm just talking about it. Okay. That's what it is. Talk about it. The weather's cold. Real cold. Snow is expected. You know how it is in Baltimore. All over. Every now and then, the snow, you look out the window, woo! White Christmas. They're looking for White Christmas. I don't know if they're holding up the cloud, White people like White Christmas. I dream of a Black Christmas. That's right. You don't know what Black Christmas is? Oh, that's when there's no snow. There you go. Hmm. Oh, I'm not dreaming about White Christmas. I love Black Christmas better than when the snow comes. It's cold. Some people say it kills germs. Hmm. I don't know. It seems like the germ produces the fearmongers of viruses and germs, and here it comes, it's coming at you. The producers of that kind of thing, they like to tell you, no, you don't kill no germs. No, 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 no. But I know that cold kill a whole lot of stuff. I'm not that scientifically knowledgeable about how it does or what it does or which virus it kills, but or which virus it creates. I don't know. I'm not too good at it. Maybe you are, and you should come on the show and talk about it. But we have slowly stopped inviting a lot of people to let's talk about it. But we'll get back to that. Don't worry about that. So get ready, folks. It's getting cold outside. Today is less than 30 degrees, 20 something degrees. So be yourself ready. One of the things that I've been seeing, I got to talk to my producer about it, is businesses in Baltimore. You see them, the Chinese and the South Koreans, the Asians, um, and the Indians, you know, maybe even South Americans, are creating businesses everywhere. In particular, the Chinese. Wow, they're moving in fast. They produce. America is no longer a production country, except when Donald Trump was there. It was in office. We're now just a user. Everything that you pick up or produced, made in China. We got to think about something. Something wrong. And then more important to me, Black people, We ain't producing nothing. Everything we do is based on what somebody else has have done. It's kind of sad when you think that all the food we eat is produced from someplace else. Every item that you pick up out of the shelf of any store is produced, manufactured in China. See now, people don't think about it like I do. That's colonialism. Yeah, it's colonized. Everything that Americans don't think about that. No, white people think they're too damn good for everybody. No, you know you're not. No, you're not. The Chinese is kicking your behind left and right. And it's just annoying to me that we stand there and watching it happen. And look, I'm not that really impressed with the Chinese, but they're moving into Baltimore, boy, like a wave, like a tsunami. And the governor is just saying, okay, okay, now here's a little piece of uh, Howard County. Boom, your town. And yeah, they gave him a township. We need to really do some serious talking about the influx of Chinese. They manufacture it in China. They ship it into the United States. They take their own vehicles and trucks. They put it into their own stores and they open up their own restaurants and businesses. Everything from planting the seed in China to growing the seed in China and then harvesting the seed, the results of that planted seed, put it into a ship, lock it all up, move the ship into the west, towards the west. That's us, United States. Got stores already here with shelves. Fill the shelves up. Open the door. You and I ain't got nothing else to do but go in and buy it. And the money goes to them. Now, something just ain't right. But when Donald Trump was in office, oh, that was a whole different ballgame. He was going after manufacturing. He wanted the United States. He wanted everything that is done and we buy off of the shelf. And the bottom of it, you pick it up and it says made in USA. And when that happens, that means that black people have got jobs. Black people are the one manufacturing. Black people are the ones involved in its overall production and outcome. Black people, yes, my people. Now, white people don't get mad. You do yours, and we're trying to find a way to do ours. Okay, so don't get mad because I say black people. It's black, it's for real. So I'm annoyed behind that. We need to talk about that. This is a movement on their part, a complete colonizing movement. And some people may not want to know what colonizing is. It's slavery from a different perspective. Slavery from China. You know how people historically have gone through slavery from uh, the Irishman, Portuguese, Polish, French, German. They all were involved in slavery. And now the Chinese. So we need to talk about that. The businesses that are growing all over Maryland, cities that are being given to them, and the effect it has on the rest of us. So let's talk about some other time. Well, let's go now to Governor Hogan. Did you know that it pays to have when somebody get killed in Maryland, there's payment for it. $100,000 he's giving for Evelyn Player. Now, I don't understand the brother, the man, Governor Hogan, I believe the man has been captured already. So what the $100,000 being offered for? Is it for overtime for police, for the state police, more of them in Baltimore City? Or what's $100,000 for? There's a lot of homicides that have taken place in Baltimore City, and the family of those that who have lost their loved ones, they get money. Yep, it's not all even. Some just get $4,000. A disparity. And some families are very pretty much angry. Say, hey, we know that Mrs. Jones over there, her son was killed, and he got 10,000. But the high school kid who was killed, the parents get 4,000. There's some complaints by those who've lost their loved ones, and they're complaining about the minimal payments from the state. He goes to answer the question that a lot of people have been saying, why 300? You remember that why? And we're going to keep on, if it's all right with my producer, we're going to keep on asking that question. Answers are coming out. There is benefits for the city every time that homicide goes beyond 300. What we like to see more of, and I'm still investigating that, how much the city gets every year from the state, and how much of that money that the city gets allocated for the murders. Like Evelyn Play, 100,000, but other families, $4,000, $7,000, $15,000, $20,000. We've said it, and we're saying it. So answer that question. Why 300? So I know I got a couple of more videos that I like to go into of places that the murders happen, the cities, because there's an attempt by a white group to open up Baltimore City. Come on in. We've reduced the number of black people. Come on in. They're dying by their own hands and by the hands of somebody else. So it's okay. Come on in now. Baltimore is ready for, oh yeah, more white people. I said it. Don't get angry. I see what I see. 2,500 black people die, or 2,250 people die. Black people die. People, not just numbers, people. So now you're ready to open it up. There's a video that I like to show you about that. Pretty much inviting some people to come on in. Yeah, Baltimore is ready now for you. And there's a lot of architectural business going on. That is, engineers are working hard to rebuild some of the dilapidated houses in some places, particularly the places that the video that I'm getting ready to show you announced. Particularly those areas, they are the restructuring of buildings, pretty much where they would like to would like them to come. Go ahead, my producer. I like to show that video. I know that's a little long, but I like you to listen to it, folks. Listen to this production that my producer is getting ready to show you.
And that marks 302 homicides in the city so far this year.
343 people have been killed in our city.
We shouldn't even be talking about 300 murders.
For the second year in a row, Baltimore has surpassed more than 300 homicides.
The city went above 300 murders this year.
This is absurd.
More than 300 dead, and it's only early November.
Baltimore has reached a grim milestone.
Here we go again. The third year in a row, the city has reached 300 homicides.
Why are we here at 300?
300 murders this year.
The 300th homicide for the year. That comes after 3 people were killed yesterday.
It's disgusting. It's become our logo. It's almost become our brand.
300 murders so far this year.
The 299th and 300th murder victims were shot to death here off Monroe Street.
We cannot, as elected officials, shake this responsibility. 300 murders in Baltimore is unacceptable.
It's like the city leadership wants us to think this is normal.
For the 6th straight year in a row, Baltimore City records 300 homicides.
I will aim to reduce homicides by 15% each year in my term, getting us below 300 homicides in my first year as mayor.
The city does not have any leadership, and because of that, people are dying.
For a 7th year in a row, Baltimore reaches another grim milestone, 300 homicides.
Tonight, we learned that it is a 5-year-old girl that officially pushes Baltimore City's homicide death rate this year and for another year to at least 300.
Enough is enough. I've had enough.
Why is 300 the number?
Why is 300 the number?
Why is 300
Why is 300?
Why is 300 the number?
300 the number. 300 the number.
Why is 300 the number?
Why is 300 the number?
Here's the answer. A video showing a response. Not just on why, because I've already told you why, because I'm the one that said it's money. It's all about money. The state sends money to pay for the overtime the police have. The federal government sends money to the city. So you got to have and what we're looking for is how much money from state to state. How much money does the city get? Because taxes are just barely not being able to cover that cost. So how much money? We need to find that out and let you know why that 300 is the number that must be reached in order for the city to get the money. And it's continuous. It's cyclical. But here's another video. The video of another idea where the murder rates versus the national murder rates. It's an invitation for those who do not want to come into Baltimore. And here's another video that shows you, it's about 10 minutes long, but I want you to see it, where the murders are happening in, where the homicides are happening in Baltimore City. Ready for you, producer.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to World According to Briggs and a fresh look at Baltimore, or Be-more, whatever you want to call it. Baltimore is home to far too much history to explain in a 10-minute video, but it is home to Fort McHenry, the birthplace of the U.S. national anthem. The Star-Spangled Banner? Yeah, happened here. A lot of people think that the Star-Spangled Banner comes from a battle during the Revolutionary War. It's incorrect. It came from the War of 1812. In 1999, there was a survey done about the United States and where things are located. 75% of U.S. high school students thought Baltimore was like right next to New York City. It's not. It is just north of Washington, D.C. on the Chesapeake Bay. Baltimore is one of the most dangerous cities in the United States, but they are on the verge of a tech boom, so there'll be a lot of people relocating to Baltimore in the coming years. And that's who this video is for. And because of that, we will be using the actual technical name of the neighborhood so you could find it on Google Map or whatever. Locals have all kinds of names for neighborhoods in every major city, and sometimes they have several for the same neighborhood. We won't be getting into all that, but if you really want to know what a lot of these neighborhoods are called, just look at the comment section of this video. The locals are going to be filling it with, "We don't call it that, we call it this." It happens every time. All right, let's take a look. Number 10, Greater Rosemont. Greater Rosemont, or just Rosemont, is northwest of downtown Baltimore with Gwynn Falls Park on its western border. There's almost 19,000 people that live in this neighborhood, and they all have about a 1 in 15 chance of becoming the victim of a crime here. I was reading reviews on the area, and one person actually said that this is one of Baltimore's safest neighborhoods. That was one person. There was about 75 reviews that said it was extremely dangerous. One reply to the person that said it was safe asked if they'd left their basement in 30 years. 90% of the homes here have bars on the windows, and the other 10% are boarded up houses. You look at the architecture of this neighborhood and it looks like at one point it was just a beautiful place to live, and obviously it's not anymore. There's a lot of people there that are just normal, everyday people, just like any neighborhood, but you always have that 10% that are just doing stupid stuff that bring a neighborhood down like this. The violent crime rate in Rosemont is 562% above the national average. That's just the violent crime rate. 6.88 violent crimes happen for every 100,000 residents here. That's compared to the national average, which is 1.04. Number 9, Morrell Park. Morrell Park is southwest of downtown Baltimore. They got about 6,000 residents living in this neighborhood, and I was reading one review that said when they were going up there, there was a whole lot of hobos that would live there in the different vacant lots because the train tracks were not too far away. They're actually on the southern border of this neighborhood. Hobos. Always loved the name hobos. Originally, Morrell Park was part of an area in Baltimore known as Georgia Plantation. Later on, they changed the name to Mount Clair. Morrell Park is a good place to go if you don't feel your body has enough holes in it and you'd like to gather a couple more. The violent crime rate here is 665% higher than the national average. There is 7.96 violent crimes for every 100,000 residents here. Like I said before, that's compared to the national average of 1.04. So basically, you have a 1 in 11 chance of getting some damage done to your body involuntarily here. The unemployment rate in Morrell Park is 85% higher than the national average. Usually when you got a high unemployment rate or severe poverty, you have a lot of violent crime and property crime. Actually, even though there's, a lot of poverty and people don't have jobs, you'd think that would bring on more property crime. But violent crime is the one that always blows up in an area like that. I guess when it comes to property crime, nobody in the neighborhood has anything worth stealing. Number 8, Brooklyn Curtis Bay, Baltimore. Brooklyn Curtis Bay, they're actually two different neighborhoods, but they're right next to each other, and people usually lump this area together because it's kind of on this weird peninsula thing, with Fairfield industrial area right to the east of them. You ever heard the phrase the perfect storm? This area has the perfect storm for crime. You've got industrial area, a big train yard, you've got housing projects, all the things that usually tell you there's going to be some crime. And Brooklyn Curtis Bay doesn't disappoint. They got some crime. Their violent crime rate is 674% higher than the national average. You have a 1 in 11 chance of being the victim of a crime here. There's only like 13,000 people living in this area. If you're looking for it on the map, it's just south of downtown Baltimore across the water there. Like so many other neighborhoods in Baltimore, every block has a few boarded up houses and a few that look like they should be boarded up. When it comes to violent crime, there are 8.04 for every 100,000 residents. Again, compared to the national average of 1.04. Number 7, Oliver. This one's a little weird because some maps actually show Oliver and Greenmount East are like right on top of each other. There's a Greenmount cemetery right there, but it's weird. The one person I know from Baltimore, I hit them up on Facebook and he said he's heard the Greenmount thing, but he's always known that area as Oliver. Either way, this is a neighborhood that right now has a pretty high violent crime rate, but they're also in the middle of kind of going through a revitalization thing. They've got a lot of new construction going on in this neighborhood, so I think in future episodes, if we do this in a couple of years, they might not make the list. But right now, it's pretty dangerous. If you're looking for it on a map, it is northeast of downtown Baltimore, a little bit north of Johns Hopkins campus. Side note, if you want to get the locals worked up, call it John Hopkins. Oh, they love that. The violent crime rate in Oliver is 678% higher than the national average, and you have a 1 in 11 chance of becoming the victim of a crime here. When it comes to violent crime, there are 8.09 for every 100,000 residents. Number 6, Highland Town. Highland Town is just east of downtown Baltimore and just west of Johns Hopkins Bayview Medical Center. This area is a little strange. It doesn't look terrible when you look at the streets and the different houses. They don't have a ton of boarded up places. I mean, they have some, not a ton, but their violent crime rate's pretty high. It's actually 715% higher than the national average. It's about 12,000 people that live in this neighborhood, and they all have a 1 in 11 chance of becoming the victim of a crime here. But their violent crime rate, you got 8.47 for every 100,000 residents here. Number 5, BEREA. If you're from the West Coast, it's called BEREA, but here it is called BEREA. They have a population of just under 6,000 residents, and they got a lot of violent crime to go along with those 6,000 residents. The violent crime rate in BEREA is 718% higher than the national average, and again, this is a place you have a 1 in 11 chance of becoming the victim of crime. That's any crime, not violent crime. BEREA is east of Oliver, which we just talked about, and they have a good-sized cemetery in the neighborhood. So that's good because people go there a lot. One thing I like about the BEREA area is you could get a home here on average. It's about $120,000 for a 3-bedroom. What I don't like about it is there are 8.5 violent crimes for every 100,000 residents. Again, that's compared to the national average of 1.04. Number 4, Cherry Hill. Cherry Hill sounds delicious. Sounds like a nice place to be, or it sounds like something you get after a nice dinner at a restaurant. But no, Cherry Hill's not a place you want to go. That's because their violent crime rate is 729% higher than the national average. The almost 8,000 people that live here have a 1 in 12 chance becoming the victim of any crime. Oddly, their property crime isn't as high here as some of the other neighborhoods on this list. It's kind of strange. Cherry Hill is east of downtown Baltimore, right across the water there, not too far from the Brooklyn-Curtis Bay area. They have an industrial area to the northwest side of this neighborhood and a lot of public housing. Those are two of the things that always bring in a lot of crime. Now, keep in mind, not every single person in public housing are just total criminals. Don't be under that illusion. I know a lot of people try and push that. It's always that like 5 or 10% that are doing all the crap that make these people that live here, makes their life miserable. It's too bad. I had a friend that grew up in public housing in Southern California, and he said his dad had a great idea. Everyone in the neighborhood knows who the troublemakers are, who the criminals are, whatever. He said they should all be able to vote people out of the community, and then the police just come pick them up. Obviously, you can't do that. That violates a bunch of rights. But when the whole neighborhood knows who's causing all the problems in the neighborhood for a public housing area, I think that should be legal. But in Cherry Hill, there are 8.62 violent crimes for every 100,000 residents. Number 3, Madison-East-End. Madison-East-End has about 5,000 residents living here. They have the potential to have a whole lot more, but they have a ton of boarded up homes. Madison-East-End is east of downtown Baltimore and south of BEREA. This neighborhood has a lot of good people, but it also has a whole bunch of street pharmacists applying their trade. If you go here, you have a 1 in 11 chance becoming the victim of a crime. Their violent crime rate is 8.72 for every 100,000 residents. Number 2, Franklin Square, Union Square. This area is more commonly known to the locals, or anyone, as West Baltimore. Now, don't let that confuse you. There's a place on Google Maps that is called West Baltimore, but that's not the West Baltimore most people know. We're talking about Franklin Square, Union Square. This area has around 50,000 residents, and they have a crime rate that is about 751% above the national average. If you live in this area, you have a 1 in 10 chance of being the victim of a crime. There are a lot of other neighborhoods in Baltimore that have worse reputations than places like Franklin Square and Union Square, but the stats don't line up with the reputation. One way I like to gauge how bad a neighborhood is how many homes have bars on the windows and how many homes per block have boarded up homes. This place has a bunch of both. There are 8.76 violent crimes for every 100,000 residents in the Franklin and Union Square area. Keep in mind the national average is 1.04 for every 100,000 residents. All right, before we get to number 1, don't forget we have another channel called On This Day. There is a link down below. All right, on to number 1. And number 1. Hopkins-Middle East. This area is like the poster child for urban decay, so much so that they actually filmed the TV show Homicide: Life on the Streets and HBO's The Wire. They didn't stop with just a television series called Homicide. This neighborhood's so perfect for this type of genre, they actually filmed a movie called Homicide in this area in 1991. If there are any pluses to living in this neighborhood, you're really close to Johns Hopkins, so, I mean, if you get shot or anything like that, you can just go there. You could almost walk there, depending on, obviously, your blood loss at this point. At one point, there was about 12,000 people living in this neighborhood. Right now, there's a little over 7,500. Their violent crime rate is 858% above the national average. You have a 1 in 9 chance of becoming the victim of a crime while in this area. There are 9.96 violent crimes for every 100,000 residents in Hopkins-Middle East. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Like I said, though, the names might be different to the locals. Sorry, but I just want you to be able to find this on the map if you're looking for it and you're thinking about moving that area. Also, there are other neighborhoods that might have worse reputations than the ones on this list. We got to go by the numbers, not reputation. All right, everyone. Have a great day.
Well, some little technical things, but that's okay. You know, you can get the gist of what the video, why I put this video up, and maybe, you know, we can maybe do it some other time, because that answers the question, some of the questions about the 300, why 300. There are some places in Baltimore that they're trying to designate as safe to go to, but you got, you know, 1 in 12 chances of being a victim of some kind of violent crime. This is good information for people to understand. I mean, you need to know that. There's a lot of answers as to why. That was one of them. And there's some more. But we're not going to show you that today because of time factor. Okay, let's, you know, my producer is going to close with the Y300 again, because I want that to stay in your mind, because, you know, like my boy Anderson says, I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. It's too much. It's got to stop somehow. I don't know that Brandon Scott can handle that, you know, but he, you know, he's a young man. He will throw some temper tantrums and all, but that may not stop, because you got to be some hardcore, strong mayor. You got to be some hardcore mayor. You can't be gritting your teeth and making all that, you know, looking like a number 2 pencil with hair on it. Nah, you take a little bit more hardcore leader. The leadership has got to be hardcore, I mean, to be able to stop violent crime. You know, the actual leaders out there, it's out there. Might be me. Oh, you don't want me. Okay, let's move on. Let me make sure. Election is coming. Gerrymandering. Looks like the Republican Party is going to have to fight harder to win seats. Democrats are just gobbling up the land, gobbling up the areas that, you know, the mapped for voting elections. They're just gobbling up, and we seem that it's now going to be even. It was harder the last election. Midterm election is coming up, a new governor, a couple of people running, and we haven't seen yet the Republican candidate, because they haven't got the kind of money that the Democrats have got. This Franco, the secretary, the treasurer for the state of Maryland, he's running for governor. The treasurer, money man, Democrats. Well, if the Republicans don't have another Hogan, the Democrats are finally going to vote a Democrat in for governor, not a Republican. So I don't understand. Is there going to be other Democratic challenge, and they'll be forced to put a Republican in again? The voters will be forced to. I don't know. Are you ready to run for office? I think you should be able to put your name in the basket now. I might do my own in my 7th legislative district. Yes, right. But not, I don't know. Where's Kimberly? I think she should come back out and run for Congress. That's right. Maybe not in the 7th, but in the 6th, where she live at. It's okay. But, the young girl's got something to say. She's learned an awful lot. Since her, and, we ain't worried about Candace Owens. Now they're saying Candace Owens wants to run for president. Sister, please. It's not possible for a person of color, but no. But let her run. What the hell? I ain't voting for her. No, I got my reasons. It's my reason. So, how about that new nation called Barbados, where they tossed the Queen Elizabeth out? I think, oh, okay, the time is really here. How about that? Boy, she's gone. Barbados breaks the British monarchy, becomes a republic. Barbados is a new republic. It's the newest country in the world. The next one that is coming after that they have to do the same thing because they were colonized by that same people, those British. Biafra. Come on, Biafra. Africa needs Biafra. And we need to do that by removing sometimes the Europeans got their whole paws in the continent of Africa itself. And they're stuck in many countries. There are 54 countries in the continent, 54 different countries. And somehow we need to be able to extract those people's hands from the continent. You're asking them to leave. They ain't gonna leave. That's a place where they get their meal, their natural resources. They feed their family, take care of their homes, and they'll kill anybody in our land that says, get out. So now you got the people on the land have got to find a way to extract them, remove them, just like Barbados did with the Queen Elizabeth. Removed her. You could not, because just took her out. That Barbados, yes, excellent, great job. Now, why can't Africa do the same thing? Some countries in Africa we need to be a little brave, show some spunk. The white people hanging around there eating on right off your plate, taking meat off the baby's mouth. Remove them. There's a lot of opportunities now, and I know that my time is up. There's a lot of opportunities right now for some African country, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of them, to take certain action. Look, if it ain't the Chinese bringing some kind of disease into the continent, it's the white man. Whether the British, especially the ugly French, the Germans, it's just the white man, the white people. All you African men that are marrying white women, you must be stupid. There's a lot of beautiful black women all over the place, and you over here bringing some kind of contaminated human into the continent. You must be sick. Sicko. But anyway, there's an opportunity. If I was the president of an African nation, maybe the Biafran nation, I will order all Europeans to leave. Why? Because it appears that the viruses and disease that are in the communities of Biafra came from abroad. So I will order the removal of all Europeans from my country or my state if I was the president of Ghana. of Kenya, of Mozambique, of South Africa. Remove them. Now, some people say, oh no, our economy will go down. It might go up if we deal with each other internally. And finally keep those Europeans at bay. It does not mean that we're not going to deal with them. And Asians at bay, outside of the boundaries. It's not that we can't deal with them on goods and services. We can still do that. But we don't want them to come into the land and build a nice house and move in. Not only move in, but move in and interact with our daughters and our children and our family. No. No. Keep them out. It's the same thing that they do when Africans go to their place. They say, no, touch a cross-eyed one. No. And they will cut your, you know what? If you try to go inside theirs and contaminate them, that's exactly what black people do when they go over there. They see that as contamination, and they try to keep that African man at bay. Let's do the same thing. It's a smart strategy. Oh, my producer, I'm sorry, I went over too much. Can we go ahead on and end this? I mean, there's so much more to talk. Keep the kids safe, please. Kids, keep them safe. That's all we have. Our children. They're coming after our kids left and right every doggone day, either in school or some, hospital. Just be aware. Stay aware. Come on. Black people, I'm talking to you. And I know some white people are saying, well, he's such a nasty man. He's such a racist. And no, it's not like that. I got black friends. Can we go ahead on and end this segment with that question again? Why 300?
And that marks
Why 300? Money. They're paying for everybody who gets killed. Paying for it. Oh, you may not like that, but I'm telling you, that's what's going on. Money. Track the money. You attract the problem to get the problem. Track the money. You'll find the answer. Money. Yeah, money. Chicago. Money. Over 500. We at 300 in Philadelphia. 500. And they get money. Yeah, money. So, anyway, folks, we gotta go. It's cold outside. Take good care of the family. Producer, can we end it with why 300?
And that marks 302 homicides in the city so far this year.
343 people have been killed in our city.
We shouldn't even be talking about 300 murders.
For the second year in a row, Baltimore has surpassed more than 300 homicides.
The city went above 300 murders this year.
This is absurd.
More than 300 dead, and it's only early November.
Baltimore has reached a grim milestone.
Here we go again. The third year in a row, the city has reached 300 homicides.
Why are we here at 300?
300 murders this year. The 300th homicide for the year. That comes after 3 people were killed yesterday.
It's disgusting. It's become our logo. It's almost become our brand.
300 murders so far this year.
The 299th and 300th murder victims were shot to death here off Monroe Street.
We cannot, as elected officials, shake this responsibility. 300 murders in Baltimore is unacceptable.
It's like the city leadership wants us to think this is normal.
For the 6th straight year in a row, Baltimore City records 300 homicides.
I will aim to reduce homicides by 15% each year in my term, getting us below 300 homicides in my first year as mayor.
The city does not have any leadership, and because of that, people are dying.
For a 7th year in a row, Baltimore reaches another grim milestone, 300 homicides.
Tonight, we learned that it is a 5-year-old girl that officially pushes Baltimore City's homicide death rate this year, and for another year, to at least 300.
Enough is enough. I've had enough.
Why is 300 the number?
Why is 300 the number?
Why is 300
Why is 300?
Why is 300 the number?
300 the number.
300 the number.
Why is 300 the number?
Why is 300 the number?